Hello, Candy? Are you there?
Hello. Hey, I'm here.
Yes, you can hear me? You can? I can't hear you
Yes.
again. Um, let's see. You're not muted. I'm
No,
not muted, so we're both up here. Are you talking at all? Talk, talk,
I
talk.
am
No?
there.
I'm hearing nothing here.
Should I try to put on my laptop?
Now you are there. Can you hear me? Oh
Yeah, I
my
can hear
gosh,
you.
hold on.
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. All right, so we're both on now. So, okay.
Can
Now,
you hear me?
back on the rant. What's that? Wait, hold
Can
on.
you
I
hear
hear
me?
you. Yes, I hear you now. And I hear me too.
Okay, I hear you too.
Okay, we're on.
Golly.
Tell me now. You have no idea how this day has gone. Now, as you kind of know part of it. I've tried to use 4 different PCs to do it from a laptop because that's the way this is supposed to actually work. It's not supposed to be done from my iPhone and your phone. And that's how we've been doing it. So for those of you out there that are going, what the crap? She doesn't know what she's doing. Number one, no, I don't. And number two, I have literally had every issue in the world with either on my laptop it's saying no sound or no audio or no video. I bought a camera, I bought a microphone, man. I hooked them up. I did everything. I've called HP, I don't know how many times, and they walked me through it. They go installed, and then all of a sudden, not there anymore, not working. So I went over and I got my daughter's computer, tried that, and it says, "Oh, this app has no support measures for it." Basically, go over to my parents' house. I try my dad's laptop, try my mom's laptop, same dang issues, and this should not be happening on any level. So with that said, please forgive. It's been rough. Plus working like 12 to 14-hour days, not so easy, and not feeling very good either today or all week long for that matter. Now, Candy, I'm going to go on now and ask you. So this week we'll be talking about Morgellons again. Morgellons disease slash syndrome. Most people know it as Morgellons disease. Um, I believe it's a syndrome, so I call it Morgellons syndrome. But what was it that you had told me at one time that you noticed when you first realized that you had this? You went over a portion of that, but you said that you had realized it was Asperilla something at one time. And what made you realize that?
I
Do you
I don't
remember?
remember talking about that. No, I don't. The first
It was
thing
the
I
very
ever
first time I ever
noticed at
spoke
all.
with you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember talking about that.
Okay.
It could be
So
the brain
you
fog.
told
I
me.
don't know. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the very first time I'd ever spoke with you. I just remember because I called it something something assholes, zozos, bleep bleep.
Oh, no, no,
Remember,
no.
I
I
I
know
gave
what
it
you're
my own
talking about.
name.
You're talking about.
Yeah, that.
No, you're talking. Now I know what you're talking about. We're talking about
Yeah.
amino. It's called aminomethylphosphonic acid, and it's
Amino
spelled
meth head. I called.
AMINO.
Okay.
It's spelled AMINOMETHYL phosphonic PHONIC acid ACID, and
Right.
it's otherwise known. The acronym for it is AMPA. And I kind of was like looking into cutaneous T cell lymphoma, and I found out that all of our symptoms are mimic a lot of cancers, different types of cancers. There's a hairy
Right.
cell carcinoma. There's so many cancers, and I'm like, oh, well, I live in a community where they spray a lot of Roundup, and so I'm around a lot of farmland, and so I was like, well, I just wonder. So I found a nonprofit. It's called detoxproject.org in France, that they test your hair for glyphosate poisoning.
That's what it was. That was the
So it
lab
was
I was
this,
thinking of.
yeah. So anyway, it was not very expensive at all. They send you the kit from France, and you just send a little hair sample over, and they analyze it, and they send you the results back in an email. So you don't pay any shipping either way. And like I said, it's not very expensive at all. So when the test came back, it came back negative for glyphosate. But I didn't realize they were also testing for 2 other chemicals that's added to the glyphosate. And so one of those chemicals was the aminomethylphosphonic acid.
I think everyone's telling
So I came back
us they have no
positive.
volume,
I came back
Candy.
positive for that. I'm sorry?
Everyone's saying we have no volume right now. Messages saying we have no volume.
Oh,
So I can hear you. You can hear me. This is
wow,
very
really?
odd. Yeah. So at this point, I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay. I guess we will maybe. I guess end the stream and start again. Oh wait. Okay. I see. It says.
Okay.
I need my glasses on. Un momento, por favor.
I can't even see
Okay, now they said they can hear us. So we've got Mandy.
Okay, great.
I think it says Clunch. She says she can hear us. We've got Sharon Johnson. Hi, Sharon. She can hear us. And we've got Stevie. He says no sounds. So we've got 3 that can hear us. Now another one that says, now I can hear you. Okay, so they can hear us. So let's go ahead and go from there.
All right, back over that whole aminomethylphosphonic acid thing again, since I didn't hear it. Now I lost you. I can't hear you now. I can't hear you. I can't hear anything. Can you hear me? Shake yes or no. It's ridiculous.
How about now?
And if y'all can hear whoever's making comments, I can hear you.
You can hear me? Yes, I hear you.
Yes.
Guess what happened? Sam Walker called me and Sam, don't text me either. Oh my gosh. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear you.
So anytime someone calls in on my phone, oh my gosh, she's sending me a video now. Okay, Sam Walker is a lot like us. I think he's one that also said he couldn't hear us. Sam, if you are listening right now, please don't call or text just this moment. I forgot to put my phone on, like, don't disturb me. So anytime someone calls, it just immediately, like, you can't hear me anymore, you can't anything. So, okay, praise Jesus. Let's just, please, Lord, let us get through this, because Morgellons disease, it seems like, finds every avenue of not allowing us to communicate, to express ourselves, to converse with others, right? So I had to say that quick prayer. Okay, Candy, I'm sorry. Go on.
So I'm going to start over, just in case they didn't hear that about the whole AMPA thing. Okay, so basically, I was doing some research, and a lot of my symptoms resemble that of various types of cancers. Well, there's the lawsuits out for the non-Hodgkin lymphoma, which basically T cell lymphoma. So being in a area that spread a lot of Roundup and farmland and everything, I thought, well, I wonder if maybe that's, I have some of that cancer, for the cutaneous T-cell lymphoma. So I found a nonprofit in France that analyzes your hair for glyphosate. It was inexpensive. There's no shipping either way. They send you the kit, you send your hair analysis back, they send you the result in an email.
Right.
So I did it, I get the email back, and it showed that I was negative for glyphosate. It showed I was toxic for another chemical called aminomethyl acid, and that is spelled AMINOMETHYL PHOSPHONIC acid, ACID. The acronym for it is AMPA. And that chemical is a hidden chemical that they add to the glyphosate to degrade it. And because it degrades the glyphosate, it's more toxic than glyphosate itself. So because there's been no study done and they don't test for the aminomethylphosphonic acid, you can't get a diagnosis because there's been no study on it and there's no testing. So just like Morgellons, it doesn't really exist because there's been no data on it and they haven't done any research. So it's a chemical that degrades the glyphosate. So the glyphosate shows negative. My doctor sent me for all kinds of, I had my lymphatic system scanned. I had all kinds of blood work. They took like 19 vials of blood and, I had all kinds of scans. Everything came back negative. So,
Wow.
So yeah, you get all the symptoms of all these different types of cancers, but you have no positive test results. So then, or you have legal recourse.
That is crazy.
Which that really sucks. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Especially when you can prove it. I mean, I've got a test result that proves it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yet,
it's kind of like that Mud Fossil University guy. You can prove it all, but they don't care. Don't care. It's obviously a huge. I mean, our whole world has been a lie, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah. So, what possessed you though to even go in that avenue with a hair sample?
Well, because one of my other Morgellons friends, she told me about the cutaneous T-cell lymphoma. She said, look at it. All the symptoms are spot on. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I was looking at the different types of cancers, the hairy cell carcinoma, the cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, all these cancers. And I'm like, okay, well, I've already been analyzed every way from Sunday, poked, scanned, beamed down and injected. And it's like, okay, everything's negative. So what the hell?
Right.
So, it really pisses me off that, you can prove that you have a toxic chemical. I contacted so many attorneys, but because I don't have a diagnosis, then, there is no legal recourse.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, if you could prove somebody was poisoning you, that's criminal.
You would think, but I mean, you would think if you go to the CDC too, and they can visually see these things happening, which in my case I did, it is criminal. You're correct. It's all criminal. The whole thing has been completely deceitful. And even though, I mean, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but even those around us that should love us, right? Some of us, I guess, have been fortunate. Some others, like myself, have not been fortunate to have absolutely nobody in the world. But when your family turns against you too, and they don't even believe it, and they start acting different, it just has to tell you there's something else going on. Because their behavior is different.
It's heartbreaking,
It's so heartbreaking.
It's so heartbreaking
but that's like my family, for instance. That was not their behavior. They are not the type of people that would have ever done what they did. And I know this for a fact actually, I have a good, loving family. Oh, my dad's a hard case. Sorry. That was me. I was barking at the dog. I'm just kidding. But never like this. I mean, and the CDC, for them to do what they do, or me walking into any doctor's office around here, anywhere. I mean, we're talking Houston, flipping Texas, one of the largest cities there is in the whole United States. And for them to treat us like that, when you walk in, I don't even say a word about Morgellons. You know, at that point, I learned after my first try. But for some reason, they're cued in. You know, they're cued in. They have a clue about why you're there. So they come in and they don't even look. They don't want to look. And there's something odd going on as well. And I know that there's plenty out there too, like me, that's had nobody and nothing, but also notices that about the human beings surrounding them in a sleeping world that do not see. They have no eyes to see or ears to hear. And there's something more to it. Wouldn't you say, in some of these cases, with the strange behavior surrounding us, and also the strange behavior of those little critters that come beaming out of us like Scotty? So what do you think about that?
Well, I went to a dermatologist, you know, and he did a couple biopsies, which I'm never getting biopsies again. I don't care what. But anyway,
Right.
so the biopsies came back. It came back negative, and he said to me, he's like, you know, he's like, I wouldn't have a problem diagnosing you with the cutaneous lymphoma. He said, but your whole body's not covered. You know, you have to be 90% of your body has to be covered to get that diagnosis. Said to him, I'm like, well, you know, not right now, but yeah, I mean, there's been plenty of times 90% of my body was covered. And I got a CD right here with pictures. You want to see them? He's like, no, I don't want to see them. Well, you know, then you
Too
don't need
bad you
me as a
want to see them
patient then. If you
anyway.
don't, no. And I was like,
That's
okay, well, if
crazy.
you don't want to see them, it's because you already know, one, or
Right.
two, you don't give a damn. So I don't need to
See, and
come
that's
back
the
here.
odd part. That's the odd part, because like, you gotta know, like, first do no harm. There's something up, because they should give a damn no matter what. A human is a human. We're supposed to approach each other with love and understanding and kindness, and that's something I haven't seen a lot of, actually none of, in quite some time. You know, and I don't understand that. They should get it. You know, they should get it. It matters. But I mean, and the hexagons, what about those hexagons? What do you think about those? What do you think those have to do with this? Because I've had several different comments and ideas and thoughts about this, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I can only tell you from my own experience. I was doing a craft booth one day, and I was out there, and they was spraying all day long, and you know, I mean, I'm out there, and I looked down at both my arms, and I had these little tiny black specks. It looked like dirt, but I was completely covered in them. And so I was like, okay, this is really weird, you know. I mean, because it wasn't windy or anything like that. I was in a parking lot, so there really wasn't any dirt. And so when I got home, I took a paring knife and I just started them off, and I put them on a microscope slide, and I looked, and it was just tons and tons and tons of those hexagon crystals, and some of them had fibers sticking out of it. Some of the fibers were moving. I got that video too. I've got so many videos, so it's hard to find. But yeah, I said, well, you know what? No, ain't nobody going to tell me this is not happening. So I started like videotaping and taking pictures and whatever. And not obsession is because guess what? If there's ever any damn lawsuits, I want my piece of the pie, you know? And nobody going to tell me it didn't happen to me. So,
Heck
you know,
yeah, heck
as far as
yeah.
the hexagon crystal, yeah,
Right.
it's like, you know, we need to be compensated. You know, we have literally been ripped to shreds from one end to the other, physically, emotionally, mentally, financially,
Yeah,
every other way. You know?
like every little thing, every last bit of hurt and pain you can give, this is given. Um, I I don't know. I'm just beside myself. But I do have someone on the stream. I just opened up the live chat. For some reason, I finally figured that out. And I'm gonna read some of those real quick, Candy, and maybe you can help me with the answers, but I got to put on my googly
Yeah,
eyes
I can't.
because, you know, Morgellons makes us blind.
Because I can't see
Okay, I'm going to read them. I can
so
see them
small.
from here. Okay, I'll read them from here, okay? So, first of all, we've got Sharon Johnson, which, by the way, she's going to be coming on my channel and doing a testimony. I'm doing a testimony phase on, or not phase, a series with testimonies, basically, of everyone that wants to participate. And if you want to participate, please contact me. Basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to have you on, kind of like I have Candy here, but Candy's just part of this forever. But, you know, on probably during the weeknights, and we're going to do testimonies on what your experience is, what you've noticed, what your thoughts are, because you guys, your voice counts. Your voices count so much, and we don't need to be silent anymore. We should never have had to be silent. So let me go ahead and read some of these here. So I got hexagons right after opening a scab on a lesion, and this is Sharon Johnson, okay? And she's one I put a video out not long ago. She was kind enough to donate her video and all of her basically footage and captures on that. So she says, so my opinion is it is related to fresh air exposure to my lesions and possibly a biosensor, I believe. Now, I kind of have to agree on the biosensor. I kind of think that maybe they are a biosensor of some sort. Hold on a second. And sorry, this bright light is sincerely bothering. Okay, so now says we've got Carl, I think, or is that Cat I Am? Okay, so Cat I Am, and I'm sorry, my eyesight's super bad, and I'm reading from a tiny phone with my googly eyes till I get my PC going so I can do this correctly and not suck 100%. Okay, so she says, or he says, it is an AR OS operating system so foreign bodies. I have nano coming through years. Okay, right there with your sunshine, and you're right, so many tears. Okay, and then we've got Cat I Am again. Morgellons is nano poisoning. Please understand this, she says. It looks like, and others like lupus, or looks like, and others like lupus, Lyme, MS, etc. And it says they are, jeez, my phone is almost dead. They are, I do agree. 100% I believe that. That's what I believe the hexagons are, and they are some sort of biosensor. I agree with Sharon Johnson on that for certain, that there's a lot to that. Now, I had recently a sweet person, an individual, she shared with me some thoughts on the hexagons, and I actually haven't got to read the entire message yet, but she was saying something about how she uses the hexagons and rocks to pull them from her body. They are like, she also said something about cutting paper into hexagon shapes or something, like a rag into a hexagon, and using that, and I guess it's pulling these things out. Now, don't quote me on this. I have to get back with her on this. Stay tuned though. She will be coming up. She's also agreed to give a testimony on here, so we'll go back to that later. I just wanted to put that out there. So Cat I Am says the audio is breaking up, crackling on her end. I hope not. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I hope it's better now.
that was in the beginning.
And again,
I think that was in the
I would
beginning.
say that it's just the user and my fault for all of this, and some of it is because I've never done this before. But when you're using an iPhone versus a laptop with the full functionality, it's gonna suck, guys. It is going to really suck. So I apologize. Sorry, my daughter's stirring her chocolate milk. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that, but are you done? So yeah, she's 16 and likes her chocolate milk. So with that said, I'm gonna try better and harder next time I get on here. I've worked on my laptop the entire day. I've used, like I said, 3 or 4 laptops trying to do this. Ordered a mic in, ordered a camera, webcam in. I have tried everything. I've called HP. I had them walk me through it. Nothing's working. So with that said, I think we're done with the comments. Sharon Johnson says, yes, you can hear me. So we're back. All right, Candy. So those were the comments on that. What do you think about the comment saying Morgellons is nano poisoning? And please understand this. It looks like, and others like lupus, Lyme, MS, etc. So they're serving as a distraction. I do believe a lot of this is distraction, along with our freaking historical avenue
and
of complete and utter lies from the
yeah,
moment we were born.
and
I believe this has been in the sky since the 80s, 90s. My own opinion, but are you there, Candy?
can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Are you there?
Yes. I can't hear you.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay, guys. It looks like Elvis has left the building. Candy, my Candy has left the building. I don't see her here.
It says I'm in the show.
Are you there, Candy?
I'm here. I'm here.
All right, guys. We have a frozen Candy, and not in a good way, next to me. So forgive. Mr. Mission Control, I'm connected to her, but why is she frozen in time? Nothing's changed. Can you tell me that?
Can you hear me?
Sorry, guys. I have people texting me, kind of walking me through this as well. But Mr. Mission Control 2.0, this guy knows his stuff. He uses this. Yeah, I should be on a laptop. If you only knew what I went through, and I've been trying for weeks and months trying to get on a laptop, it has not ended up well. And anytime you discuss Morgellons disease, and you've looked into this recently too, it seems like everything and anything that could go wrong will go wrong. And no, I'm not trying to jinx it. I'm just telling it like it is. It is what it is. It's true. So, okay, Mr. Mission Control said, overcome, but you cannot detox because your DNA has been changed. 100% I agree with that. Mr. Mission Control also says, and he just recently figured this out after he subscribed to my channel before he knew anything about Morgellons disease, and he stumbled across some good information, which some of us know about and some of us don't. But he says Morgellons is caused by a bacteria. I can't get through it enough because every time he says something, the thing goes away. Caused by a bacteria used in GMOs, and we all know that this is a genetically modified organism type factor. But I still can't figure out, how do genetically modified organisms take on complete personalities of their own, and how in the hell do they shapeshift? And I know I'm not the only one thinking this and knowing this. I know a lot of you have seen that. I know you have. How do they look at you when they know that they're getting ready to die and run away as fast as they can? How does this happen? How do they take on this persona of like an animal, a dog? Or my friend Sharon also, told me about things that she's seen. I know people have said, one time they were riding a what do you call it? One of those bikes, a stationary bike, and working out, just riding it. And then this person had told me that a second later they had, extracted a pile of basically fibers. And when you look at those fibers, I was told that they saw themselves on a stationary bike. All these fibers twisted themselves and changed themselves and morphed themselves into what looked like a stationary bike with a little tiny human being riding the bike. And I'll tell you what, I am totally going to concur with that. It's happened to me. So many times has that happened to me. I was just in Oregon visiting my daughter, and a piece of debris had come out, and I had this black and white speckled rock on one side and then gray pavement on the other. It came out, it was gray pavement. 2 seconds later, it was a black and white speckled rock. Now, please, somebody, nanotech, I get it. Nanotech can mimic anything, but how do they take on these individual identities of their own? How is this happening? I don't get it.
Can you hear me now?
It says, who thinks Morgellons and something to COVID. Who thinks Morgellons trump COVID? I would say Morgellons trumps pretty much everything I could ever imagine. Cancer, MS, muscular dystrophy. In my opinion, it trumps everything. Number one, the lack of understanding. Sorry, guys. It's been one of those days. Number two, the spiritual pain that goes with it. Number three, the treatment of doctors that don't even try. The lack of compassion, family that's not family anymore, the lack of friendship, losing, flipping everything on top of the pain, the physical pain. It's physical pain. So much physical pain. I remember belly crawling, army crawling to the toilet just to vomit while my whole family just turned their backs. They didn't listen. They didn't care. My dad evilly laughed in my face saying, "Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy." And I'll never forget this laugh. So evil. Like, my dad attends church every Sunday morning, every Sunday night, every Wednesday. It's not normal behavior. These are not the family members I grew up with. I can send them videos. I'll say, "Hey, watch this." And they will literally not respond, not comment, not react, literally not anything other than, I wonder where I'm going to go this weekend, or what I'm going to do for fun now, or, oh, work was a bitch. You know who's getting ready to be one? You know what the funny thing is, though, about us Morgellons people? We refrain from the ugliness. Don't get me wrong, we've lashed out a few times, but we can refrain because we view life in a different perspective, like one that with grace and poise, and one that we didn't even know we had in us, you know? I'm going to read some of these again. I feel slow down a little. Daryl, okay, Daryl, I'm so sorry. I'm blind from Morgellons, but Daryl Perrier, it says, "Oh, wow, I believe her." Looking like me, like my new bike with, okay, so thank you, Sharon, for saying. I didn't want to like put your name out there and whatnot, because I know a lot of people are very, very, very reserved about sharing their personal experiences, because there's a huge portion of this that's like a supernatural side. And I don't care what anyone says. If you have Morgellons, if you really have Morgellons, you're going to know there is a, like hell, supernatural side to this. And nanotech or not, why all of a sudden the things in the sky that lots of us start seeing. And I know I've got Sharon out there. I've got tons of people out there that have Morgellons that didn't see any of this, but now suddenly you can see the orbs in the sky, or UFOs as people want to call them, which I call them demons. Satan is the ruler and the leader and the principality of the air. It's simple as that. It's in the Bible. Some people say, well, how do you know they're not good? Well, anything that's got to hide and doesn't announce to you or show you on any level something kind or something evil or something just neutral is obviously not good, because they would Morgellons
Can you hear me
as
now?
if didn't in fact enough. You guys, I'm having a hard time reading this. I'm sorry. Enough people. So, wonder if they gave us on more. Sorry, Daryl. I can't hardly understand that. So Mr. Mission Control says what I was going to read a second ago. Yes, it's a bacteria, genetically modified with a fungus. Every one of us that have Morgellons disease, and I mean every one of us that first saw the signs, freaked out, because it's us, it's our bodies, it's like sci-fi freaking stuff happening to you because it's happening to us. Delved ourselves into researching this. So almost all of us, unless you're very brand new, know that there's a fungus portion, there's a nanotechnology portion, there is all sorts of portions to this, because we've studied it, we've looked, we have poured our hearts and souls into trying to figure this out. So what I want to say is, we do know all of this, but there is also something going on. There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars. Nation will rise against nation. I mean, everything will be not right. We will see the signs, and then you will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with great glory. And we're here, folks. We're here. And I'm not trying to preach. I'm just trying to say, I'm awake now. I'm awake now, and I know, and I feel it in my heart and my soul. And you can read all the information you want, dive into books, search the internet, go to doctors. You can do all of that. But at the end of the night, your heart and your soul and your gut already know. And that's the only information you really need. Daryl says, I totally get you. The universal of all sufferers who try to explain to doctors, family, anyone who doesn't have it. Amen, right? My whole family had me taken away from my child. She was young at the time, by the way. She was like 5th grade. She had the lead role in a play, and that she kept telling me, I can't wait, Mommy, you're going to see you tonight. I'm like, yeah, I've never missed anything you've ever had. And about 10 a.m., right after I took her to school, dropped her off, went back, living in a camper at the time because I was very ill. Didn't have all the resources. I had to go to the camper level. You know, now keep in mind, I was just like every other middle-class human in this world. And knock on my door, 2 police officers knock on the door and say, Miss Hicks? I say, yes. They say, we're going to need you to come with us. I'm like, why? What did I do? I mean, all I did was be sick, go to work, raise my daughter, and go to a camper because, again, my whole family abandoned me. I no longer got invited anywhere. I never got a call saying, hey, Lisa, are you okay today? As I'm army crawling to the toilet or vomiting or literally laying in bed saying, please, God, take me now. Take me because I don't want to live anymore. Nobody was there. So they took me away for 3 days. I was locked in a psychiatric facility. I don't remember how I got out of my own human level clothes. I don't remember how I even ended up in their bed. I don't remember anything, but I know that 3 days later, I was told, okay, Miss Hicks, you can go home now. I was ecstatic because I was groggy, but ecstatic. And I'm like, gosh, I need to go to my daughter's play tonight. They're like, well, what day do you think it is? I'm like, Wednesday? And they said, no, Miss Hicks, it's been 3 days. And I looked at the lady and I'm like, 3 days? They drugged me. They drugged me. That's all I can tell you. In a facility in Rosenberg, Texana House, guys, Texana House. Never in my life have I had a single psychiatric problem. Just as normal and regular as anyone else, other than I've always been a little bit more in tune with the things here on earth than most people. I've always thought most conversations are very shallow, but I could blend in like the rest of them and just with the best of them. So keep in mind, never, no reason, no history of lying, no history of psychiatric or mental issues, just a single mom raising 4 little girls at one time. And then I'm down to my last one, and it's her junior high, almost middle school year, lead role, never missed a thing. And all of a sudden I'm gone out of her world. I'm gone out of that little girl's world. She's on stage looking out in the audience, and her mommy is not there. Her mommy's locked away for 3 days. And my family, and another reason I know they're cuckoo and there's something wrong, they didn't even tell her what was going on. She's just going to be staying with us for a few days. Well, in the meanwhile, I'm just drugged up in a bed, have no idea I'm gone from her life. And when I wake up, it's been 3 days. And here's the last words, guys. The last words they told me before I could depart their facility. Mrs. Hicks, you can leave, but you have to promise us that you never, ever mention another word about this again, ever. So with that said, hold on, I can see that this is not working here. So with that said, I was willing to do anything. I had a child out there with no other parent other than me, and a family that had completely turned against me, obviously, and a child that was going to be manipulated mind-wise by the rest of the world if I didn't get to her quickly and nurture her and love her like I should and any parent should. And so I said, okay, I'll never talk about this again. guess what? That fueled my fire. I have been yapping and flapping my gums ever since. Actually, nothing would have stopped me anyway. Probably why I went there in the first place, telling the world, like, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. It's happening. It's real. You suck. Open your eyes. Wake up. I got nothing for you other than that. So I'm going to tell all of you right here and right now, I had to beg. Figure out who I'm going to call. Ask the lady, who do I call to come get me? Because I was abandoned, guys, by a family that once loved me, a family that once cared. And all of a sudden, they're not there anymore. Has changed. If someone since would treat anyone with a true mental disability that's considered a medical illness, like the way we've been treated. So here we are, not mental, not disabled, just sick, just sick and telling the truth. And we're treated like this? Wake up, world. There's something big going on here, much bigger, much bigger. My sister, my brother, my mom, my dad, my children, everybody in my world vacated and ran. And I know, you all know this. If you have Morgellons, you have experienced at least a portion of this to some level. But it doesn't matter. Stand up. Don't shut up, guys. Don't stop screaming it at the top of your lungs. Because our reward, if it doesn't come now, well, guess what? It comes later through Jesus Christ, through the home that we have prepared for us. Because he has and everything. There's nothing that's going to stop us. I mean, come on. Has Morgellons stopped us? Are we still alive, waking up? We're tuning this channel or others? Yeah. That means and I admire you guys so much. I love you guys so much. And if any of you ever need anything, I'm here. I am here for you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So, on a serious note, but serious too, I apologize again for the crappy audio and the video and everything you guys have experienced since you've tuned in. I'm going to tell you right now, I do believe part of this has something to do with us and the nanotech and talking. And they can make anything not work that they don't want to, I mean, come on, there's spyware. Like, we know about that. Don't think for 1 second with nanotechnology in your body that they can't make your life a living hell. And Lord knows they've tried. But the funny thing is, how could my life be a living hell when I know what my future holds? So next week will be better. I don't know what happened to Candy Nelson. I love this woman so much, and you guys need to hear her as much as you can. And so I'm going to get these kinks worked out as God allows, and these evil little gurus or minions of Satan's keep trying. Oh, how they try. They will not succeed. They won't, because voices are speaking out. People are standing up. And the more of us that we are together, wise, the more we have of all of us standing up and voicing our opinions and saying what is true and not backing down and not going into a corner, not putting baby in the corner. The more of us, the more power that we generate, and they can't hold a candle to us. They can't. They never will. They haven't even yet. We may have felt like that at one time. They can't win. I mean, it's already been written, guys. It's been written. It's like in the good book. It says, he'll never win. We all know how this all ends, okay? So I guess we just got to confess our sins, be saved, accept the Lord Jesus Christ into our lives, and keep on fighting the good fight, because that's all we got. We got just us. And at the end of the day, when we got to count on ourselves, well, we know we can do it because Once again, we are warriors, and we are the children of God that has been awakened. So guys, I love you. I love you. Do not give in. Fight. Speak out. Speak out. Use videos that we put out. Use your own videos. Share them. Share them with everyone. Everybody share. Share what you know. Share the knowledge. Share the videos. Show the people that don't want to look, even when they're closing their eyes, like, no, no, no. Like my dad, I won't look. I can't do. I won't look. I don't believe in that stuff. Freaking move their hand from their eyeballs and shove that crap right in their face and say, you're going to look anyway. You're going to look because you're a child of God too. And that's what you would be expected to do. And if they won't look, try again, and then try again and again and again. That's all we can do. But the one thing we won't do is give up. We won't give up. We live in a crooked world with corrupt leaders and a handful of a certain bloodline that has lied to us about everything from day one, including your history, folks. And if you look back and you actually study it yourselves, just dive into it. Don't listen to the books and the chapter books that you had in class. You don't have to. No need for that. You got this little thing in your head that, well, mine's little anyway, but it was given to me to use. So you'll see if you don't already, and I know most of you do. Either way, if you don't see, it doesn't matter. Just don't stop fighting. Don't stop fighting. Okay, I'm going to start crying now. All right, guys, I love you. I'm going to end the stream. I feel horrible that Candy dropped off somewhere, froze into place. I have this gut feeling that if I could ever get the laptop, one of the 5 I tried, working, that it would be totally different. So forgive me, bear with me, please be patient. All right, guys, I love you. And with that said, I'm out.